I'm Francis Gonodovu, reporting here from the first capital of Fiji, Levuka. Here with me, I have my Maramanaita, Bulavinakanata. Could you please introduce yourself and the organization that you represent?
I'm Seruwaia Maramambedi, originally from 𝙊𝙬𝙧𝙪, now living in Somutuoloboni of Laos. And I'm happy and blessed today to be with family this afternoon. I am a retired civil servant, now living in the village. And currently, I'm the president of the Ovalau Motoriki Market Vendor Association. But I work with our community ladies, and I love meeting people, and I interact and talk with them. And I also work closely with the Provincial Council women. And I love working with women to empower them, share knowledge to them, and for us to share the interest and what all they do at home, for us to work together and move forward for the betterment of our community, and as a woman that can be empowered to look after themselves, to do things to help the family upgrade their living standard. And I'm happy to be here today, and I represent the women of Ovalau Motoriki that are here in the market every day. And I come to see them every night, 3 days a week, to empower them, to support them, to show them that we women can do what we can do, using of the talents that we have, and make use of what we know to support our husbands, support our families, to the obligations that are there before us, with religious obligations, community obligations, and the government obligations. There are a lot that we look after as women, and being a housewife, you do a lot and you manage a lot at home. But I believe and I know, if you can manage well at home, you can manage anything at all in this world.
Nakanaita, how long have you been a market vendor, and tell us about some advantages and exciting aspects of being a market vendor here in Levuka?
Very interesting question. I love working with ladies. As a market vendor, I love to be a market vendor. First and foremost, to support my family and to use whatever we have at home and the excess to be sold in the market. And to get what we have from the market to buy things that we need at home. Secondly, to talk and share things with the women and to know what all they face at home, what all the problems, the hardship that they go through. And with interacting with them, it's very interesting. And being a president of the Market Vendor Association for Ovalau Motoriki, there's a lot of challenges because we come from different backgrounds and you have different issues, and you come here in a sport that we all work together to try and mix all those in to get the best of what we know and what we can get to move forward. But otherwise, it's very interesting to work with women. And for your information, Madam Knight, we also have some male vendors. And we have two unfortunate vendors that they are handicapped. We have two here in Levuka.
People living with disability.
People live with disabilities. And we are blessed with a new market that is coming in. There's a disability-friendly space for them in the market. And we are blessed. And I'm sure market vendors in Ovalau Motoriki are looking forward to the new market. And at the moment, we are flooding in with all that we have at home to earn whatever we can have to support our family.
Nakanaita, you mentioned on the challenges that you as a woman market vendor face here in the first capital of Fiji. Could you please highlight 3 major challenges economically, environmentally and socially as a market vendor or as a women market vendor?
We have some male market vendors out here, and bringing that environment at home to the market space, it's always there in their mind that men folks are always be the head. And that at times is brought in. It's a challenge, but it's nice to know that there's a lot of women being market vendors do share their interest, their knowledge to these men, for them to know that we are one in the market space. That's a challenge. Second challenge is that we are those market vendors from Motoriki. Because they come into Levuka according to the tide. When it's high tide, early in the morning, they come early in the morning. Otherwise, they'll just come into the to town when it's high tide. Otherwise, they'll have to walk in from where the boat can reach. But we are grateful. With this new market, I'm sure that should solve a lot of problems. Because there's an accommodation there in the market space, the new market. So we've been advising, I've been advising women folks from Motoriki for them to see to the tide. If the tide is not friendly to them and they come in on Saturday morning, they can come on Friday evening, spend the night there because there's accommodation for them. So that they spend the early morning, they are fresh to do the selling. And the other issue too is the expenses, the cost of the boat that they're coming in. It's quite expensive from Motoriki to come here. When it's low tide, they pay more than $100 per vendor to reach Levuka. But I'm sure that should somewhat ease the problem when the new market is up. The other one that we are faced with currently is with the tent, especially with the weather advice that we have. Because when strong winds and raining, they are under the water. And for the last 2 weeks, Motoriki vendors, they come late. And the thing is, there's no more tent available because they are all torn up because they've been there for some time. And the thing is, they have to sell in the bright sun. And when it rains, they're under the rain, trying to sell their produce to get at least that $100 to pay for cover for the expenses, apart from what they want to buy from the market. But I'm sure, and I'm adamant that with the new market space, market coming up, that should at least solve the problem with them for transport costs. But otherwise, we are happy that at least UN Women has provided us with some tent to be under at the moment. And we are also blessed that we have family care with us, so that this is an avenue that we can even share some of the issues that we have and the grievances that we do have. As I mentioned earlier in one of our interviews, this is one of the causes of the violence at home. When women vendors come home, if they don't have that much, collected that much from their sellout, and they had at home their husbands who have their own issues at home, or what they want to have. And that is, when that is not met, that is an issue that they have that causes violence at home. And I'm sure with new things are coming in, now family that is there in place with us, we can voice our concern. I'm sure time will come that this will all be under the water.
Despite all the challenges that you as a market vendor face here in the market here in Levuka, what are some of the major changes you've experienced by being a market vendor for all these years that you've been a market vendor? Any major changes you've seen?
Now I live Maram Night. I've noticed a lot of changes. Now market vendors come to realize, they've come to know that this is something that is important. It's just like a work that they do every day, like a job that they look forward to. So the way they dress up, the way they present their produce, and we've been advising them every now and then for them to put in tags, price tags. That has never been. So price tags are there with their produce. That is something that is coming, and they are like putting things up to decorate them stalls. That is something new that, not new, some changes that has brought about, some learning curves that they go through, what we learn from being with family and other organizations like UN Women Market for Change Project and UNDP, giving them trainings to equip them and empower them with how best they can sell, what is the best way of them putting their produce, their presentation. And they've gone through some trainings like financial literacy. Now we're looking forward to other trainings like value adding for market vendors to go through. And I'm sure with all those, there should be a lot of changes coming in for our vendors because they are equipped, they are empowered with information that will lead them to better market vendors. And I believe, as I know, most of these business people, they started from market vending. So from then, we've been advising them. We've been trying to push them to get to that so that it's worthwhile doing planting at home. So for them to work in partnership with their families. People to plant, people come to sell, not only in Levuka, to look forward to go more or somewhat far from Levuka for their produce.
With all the issues and challenges and the changes that you've shared with us, from the negative to positive changes, we've seen that Levuka is slowly developing. What are some assistance that the government could provide to make selling easy for women market vendors here in Levuka?
Now I live Maramnight. First and foremost, we thank the government of the day and the previous government for putting up this market. And we also wish to thank UN Women Market for Change Project because they contributed to that new market. Because I'm sure and I believe with this new market space, this new market allocated to us, this is not only the market, it's a landmark for our first capital. Secondly, it will bring about changes to our vendors for them to know that this is someone like a business that they do. Not only to come and sell, but to do more than that. And to have plans for themselves, not for them just to be selling here all the time. Not for their children, grandchildren to come and sell here all the time since the market is here. To have some plan for themselves, to do more than just selling. And we are looking forward to the trainings that will be coming and the information sharing that will be shared to them and the empowerment that is given to them. They should surely move forward to that with a plan in place. And that is something that myself and the committee members of the Market Vendor Association, trying to get to them, to have a plan for themselves, to do more than just selling here in Levuka, to go beyond just Levuka and do better for themselves and for the family.
Pinakavalevu, that's Seruwaia, the president of the Levuka Market Vendors Association, sharing with us some of the plans that they have in place in future for their market vendors here in Levuka. I'm Francis Gonadov reporting here from Levuka, the first capital of Fiji. Pinakavalevu.